Hey gamers, welcome to Vlog Matters number 2. And this one I want to talk a little bit about some of the inspiration that I have for the new game that I'm working on. The new project is definitely a lot darker than Don't Be Dinner. Don't Be Dinner was a little tongue-in-cheek. There was a lot of references to video games, other video games and pop culture and stuff like that. And while the atmosphere was a little dark, this one I want to be dark in the sense of like foreboding and scary and just all around kind of grossness, you know, like those games like Silent Hill or the recent Evil Within and stuff like that. Actually, what I took a lot of inspiration from recently was I went and I saw the movie Gone Girl like 2 or 3 days ago, and that really kind of impacted what I wanted to put in this game. And I realized as a Fincher fan, I kind of like how in a lot of his movies he's got these characters and almost all the characters are flawed in some way, shape, or form, right? So the characters in Gone Girl especially, and I'm not going to give anything away in that movie. You really should go see that movie though if you haven't seen it. I really think the characters shine when he does these dips, and it's kind of hard to explain without like showing it. But if you think of how his characters are, they kind of build up, and they start out, you know, nice and clean, and everyone, you know, likes them and stuff. And they kind of build up, and you realize there's like this darkness building. And then as that darkness builds, it kind of hits a peak. And at that peak, it's really, you know, where he dips down into their like darkness reserves, and they just get really dark. And those are his scenes of just absolute darkness. You know, the character will do something bad to some other character or say something that you wouldn't think that character would do, but it makes sense for that character because it builds up to that, and then it kind of goes back down, and that darkness isn't reached again until he builds back up, and then there's another mini like darkness climax, and it dips down into that reserve again, and the character's just darker than last time, and it does that over and over and over until the final climax of the movie and then the resolving actions and everything like that. But I realized that type of character progression and that type of character is something I really want to strive for in this game. So I want characters that are flawed, but I want them to be flawed and make sense as to why they're flawed. And I want their flaws to be just exceptionally dark. They need to be not intentionally dark. I don't like it when games and movies and stuff, they do things for shock value, strictly for sales reasons or for, you know, to say, hey, look, like, so Modern Warfare, right? There's that part where in, was it 1 or 2, where you go into the airport and you just like mow down a bunch of people with like some guns and stuff. Not saying that that wasn't a part of, you know, the plot, which it was very much a part of the plot, but it was very much like, hey, guess what we're doing in this game? And then as soon as like Kotaku and IGN and everyone heard that, it was just like all the news sites picked it up, and there was all this controversy around it. So I don't want to generate controversy for the sake of controversy. I want the characters to speak for themselves and the darkness to be that character and not someone putting something into a game to make it that way. The other thing is that Fincher has very like raw style about filming certain scenes, especially those darkness scenes, right? He doesn't shy away from showing or doing anything. And some of the other inspirations of his that I've been having recently is the soundtrack from the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie that he did. If you've seen that movie, it's very, very brutal in some sense, especially in some areas. So those are those points of darkness that I want to hit. And when I hit those points of darkness, I just want to really, I want them to be very serious. You know, it's really hard to want to make a game like this and get to a scene where it's supposed to be very, okay, I'm back. My camera stopped recording like 3 times in a row there. So what I was saying is that I want those scenes of darkness to be realized to the point where they are serious and not cheesy. It's very easy in video games to make a character, staring at someone and to pan to them and have it look real awkward and cheesy rather than very serious. So those scenes need to be, they need to be of a dark tone in nature. And that's kind of how I want the whole game to feel, but I want those pieces to feel really dark intentionally. So that's some of the inspiration behind the Fincherness of this game, the Fincherness that is driving some of my design and my ideas. So what do you guys think? Do you think Fincherness in video games is cool? Would you like to play a video game of the Fincher style? Let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.